Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I will be talking about Amsterdamned 2. Give or take, this is a weird video to make in English because it's a Dutch movie, but I do know that Amsterdamned, the first one, and Dick Maas, the director of this film, kind of have an international cult status. And I know a lot of people that are from international waters that have seen a Dick Maas film and are like, interesting. And it's good enough for me to talk about this online. And also another thing that I thought was pretty fun, the Dick Maas's 2016 film Prey, or Boy in Dutch, he sold it. And it went to China, and it became one of the highest grossing films in that year in there. And he did not get a single penny for it because he sold it instead of rented it, which I think is pretty fucking painful. So I want to give him something to have some attention to his new film for that. It's Amsterdamned 2. The first one came out in 1988, and today we are 37 years later. We have a sequel to that film, and we also brought back the original cast in Huub Stapel, Erik Visser. We brought him back for this film, so we can officially call this a legacy sequel. And I think when Dick Maas saw Joker and Joker 2, he thought, that's the idea that we need to do. And what I mean with that, and especially why I mentioned Joker and Joker 2, Joker 2, in my opinion, is not a bad film in and of itself. It certainly does some things right. The reason it's generally hated as being a bad film is because it destroys everything that made the first one so good to tell a new story that is worse, but also just more boring than the first one. And this film as well, I really like that first Amsterdam. I think it's pretty fun. I think it's pretty great. I think the mystery that they are having in that film is kind of good. And I feel like the canals in that first film are actually like a character in and of themselves, which is really nice. And I thought it was a pretty well made movie up until the ending. The ending I hated, which is a trend Dick Maas continues to do with this film. I kind of liked what they were doing with the store. Not the story. I kind of liked what they were doing with the vibe, and the mystery also was kind of nice to see come to play in this new time. And instead of just the canals, I thought the entirety of Amsterdam felt more like a character in this and felt more like an actual entity in this film, which is something I also really like. But then you have the story, which is incredibly bad because they tried to give you a story within this film, and their only reason for having this film is by undoing everything that they did in the first film, which is annoying as shit, especially if you like that first one. They literally just smack you in the face like, no, everything that happened in 1988, it was bullshit. You didn't do shit. And they kind of undo everything that film did just to tell this other story, which is basically the same, because if you see those films back to back, you can literally see all of the resemblances from beginning, middle to end, to the murders, to what is happening, to how it's happening, to even the chases and the action sequences. Like there was a giant boat chase sequence in the first one. Okay, they didn't do a boat chase sequence, but they did have a fight on top of the boat during a chase sequence with a motorcycle, and then the motorcycle, they stopped using that and they went to a jet ski. It's more of the same thing. It almost even ended in that same way, which was annoying. And I thought, like, okay, just because it was 1988 doesn't mean that it's now as good, but they tried to make something new with the new technology that they had to create a new chase sequence, but the old one just is better, in my opinion. And this film has a lot of things that it tries to do better because the technology now is there, but it was done better in 1988, and I'm very sad that that is the case with this film, because the idea of this is really interesting. You have a murder mystery because of a murderer that is in the canals of the Amsterdam canals, which is a pretty fun idea, but the idea was done best in 1988, and they tried to make a sequel out of it. and it's just not as good. It's not as fun. The characters are more annoying than in the first film. Erik Visser, who is a really cool guy in the film, Hoopstapel plays him perfectly in that first film. He's nice in this film, but by the end of it, they kind of made an idiot out of him because of how hard they tried to undo everything that the first film did, that he just seems like an idiot, and they kind of completely destroy his character with this film. There's also an obnoxious use of AI in this film because there are some sequences that required a huge deal of VFX, and they kind of probably, I'm just assuming right now, they probably didn't want to spend the money on that because they knew it would look like shit because, well, Dutch are just not that good with VFX. We are not that we aren't that evolved in the movie industry yet to create realistic underwater sequences using VFX only. So they tried to do it with AI, but AI when they created the film was probably not that great because you can see it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that is bad. But I think it's a good thing that even when you use AI for huge sequences and do not pay people to do it for you, to create the thing, and it's still not the worst thing about the film, then I feel like that is an absolute win. Or a bigger lose on their part. But a win for us. Like, the use of AI is obnoxious. The use of AI in works like this is bad, is awful, and I really, really, really can't stand it, especially if they make it this obnoxiously obvious. If they tried to hide it, I would have been mad as well, probably even more mad. But then they would have at least told the world that they knew that what they were doing was wrong, but they still did it anyway. In this film, it kind of feels like they used AI to create some sequences and were proud to do so. We're proud to make it as obnoxiously obvious as they could possibly do. And that made me angry. And the ending of the film made me even more angry than the first one did, and kind of undid what made the first film good, what made the characters in this film good, what made the characters in the first film good, and what made this film good. So the ending destroyed everything, in my opinion. The ending is awful. Yes. I still had fun with it. It's a fun film because the mystery is still good, but the story is bad. And kind of everything else as well. It's just that I wasn't completely bored by this film, which is a win, especially because it's a Dutch film, and Dutch films aren't usually that great unless you only watch the good ones, the ones that are actually watchable. In the end, I decided to give Amsterdamned 2 stars. I think it's a massive, massive step down from that original film. What did you think of this film? Please let me know in the comments down below. Is this movie ever coming to a theater near you in your country where you live? Please go watch it. It can be fun. Or when it comes to streaming, please watch it. It can be fun. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching and I'd like to see you in the next video. Thank you and bye bye.